Yeah, got kind of something cool to show you, I guess. There is
I
a.
just watched that video.
So did you watch it?
Shit, that was awesome.
It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, kudos to whoever did the video.
Anders over at Sweden actually did that.
That was
So
awesome. That was awesome.
yeah, I thought it was pretty cool, cinematic, whatever. But it kind of gives you an
Yeah.
idea of what's going on with it. So I don't know if you got the whole bearing from it, but basically, there's a new game on Wax that was launched. Actually, the EOS DAC crew is who's kind of behind it. Yates and some of that crew. There's some other people as well, but long story short, it's called Alien Worlds, and kind of best way I can describe it is it uses some of the cool features of EOSIO, putting them all together into this cool little game. So we'll see, if it kind of takes off and goes. But a lot of people are liking it to get started. So
Yeah, it looked really cool. Now,
um,
when does it come out?
so it's in beta launch right now. So we're able to play it. There's a lot of people in there pushing buttons, finding a few bugs here and there, getting things changed and tweaked. But it's playable, but it hadn't officially launched, we'll say. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But it's out there. So alienworlds.io, you can go to it and get logged in, and
I'll do it. I'll do it for sure.
I think there's a link straight off of the site there. If not, I can send you the link directly to the game because it's still in beta, so it may not be fully published on the website. But
Okay.
anyway, long story short, overall, you know, it, it's it focuses heavily on NFTs. So we talked about NFTs many a times. It's a non-fungible token that you own it, but it's not like it has a dollar value directly to spend, but it's token. So you can transfer it, you own it, it's tracked on chain, stuff like that. Uh, it also has attributes, so it can be a different type of token. It can be a better token than another similar type of token. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
think of that as like cards. I can have this card and it be stronger than the other card, or this sword and it be stronger than the other sword. That sword can be transferred, it could be owned, it could be sold, it could be rented, it could be whatever you wanted on that. But NFTs, the general concept of NFTs. And then actually they kind of, being EOS DAC, they kind of rolled in the concept of DACs and DAOs that, look, if everybody has a slice of the pie and can contribute their vote based off of that slice of the pie, and DAO is, it functions on its own. You can collectively make decisions or changes or whatever. But those are some of the kind of cool things that they build into it. But there's a couple different aspects of the game. One is it's like a mining game. So you can log in. Of course, you log in with your Wax wallet, which is really easy. I think we've been through that before. Probably already got a Wax account on it. I use my Gmail account to add to it. But you log in, and of course, you don't have to even purchase any tools or anything like that. You get some equipment to start off with. And basically, you get to travel out into the world, pick a land that's out there, and start mining. And when you mine, you, based off of your tool, which your free tool doesn't get you a lot, but you earn some Trillium, which is their in-game currency. Basically
Okay.
it's a token. It's a Wax token that is also, I believe, bridged or bridging over to Ethereum. So it'll be an ERC20 token as well, but I believe. Anyway, long story short, Maybe not. I know they did some bridging between ETH and Wax, but point is that Trillium is the in-game currency, but it's also, an actual real token. You can go and buy it on new decks or some of the decks. I don't think it's on new decks yet, but point is it's a real currency. But you go and you play and you're able to earn, small little slivers of Trillium, and do what you want to with it.
By playing.
Just by playing. Of course, you sign up for free, you get a free tool, and get to start. So there's zero investment that you have to have. Now you can go, and there are, obviously these NFT markets for people that have more than just a standard tool. And you can buy upgraded tools if you want to be able to earn, Trillium faster. But let's not get off of the whole mining concept yet, because there's actually two facets of the mining side. So you're mining for Trillium, but you've also got a chance, based off of your tool set and land you picked, to mine other NFTs from the game. So you log in for free, you start playing for free, and all of a sudden, for free, here comes this card that you mined out of the game that's a better drill or shovel or whatever than you're using, or whatever type of NFTs that are all throughout the game. But the point is that it's an interesting caveat to the mining aspect of the game, that you're not just going out and trying to mine the currency, think of it like mining gold. Hey, there's actually this little, additional calculation that there's luck that you may also mine an NFT. And you can mine abundant NFTs, common NFTs, rare, legendary, and mythical. Those are all the different.
And those are said, you said by chance?
Yeah. So, it's a mathematical equation. So call it 90 some odd % chance you're going to get an abundant card, then a common card, 9% chance, and then a rare card, maybe like 1%, and then, whatever. And then, that mythical is, point of a 10th of a % or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can tell you there are people that are just going and smashing this mine button and getting a notification that, hey, by the way, a $200 card just dropped into your wallet. So yeah, I mean, they're absolutely going nuts or whatever, but that's kind of a crazy
well, you've been in there, you've seen it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to the people that have done it. I personally haven't had one of those mythical or legendary cards yet. I've had some epic cards.
I'm sorry, I just meant you've been in and played the game. You're just now telling me about it for the first time. But what was your opinion of the graphics?
It's lack of better terminology. It's not, of course. Now, first off, that trailer you saw isn't really related to the graphics. It's not like a console game, but I mean, the UI is sleek and pretty cool looking, but it's not like a first person shooter interactive or a world where you're really like 3D exploring, at least at this point. Okay. It's really, we'll log in and I'll show it to you, but
perfect.
Yeah, the graphics aren't it's not like cinematic trailers or gameplay or anything like that. But main thing is, like I say, you can log in, you can pick your land, you pick your tools, do whatever you want to do, and then you mine, you get your Trillium or your NFT, and then your tools have a certain cooldown time. So after you use them, you have to wait a certain amount of time before you can use them again. Okay. So that's kind of the core fundamental of the overall mining side of the game.
What was the game that we played on EOS?
EOS 9.
No, I'm sorry. There was another one that was mining. Like you'd go out and find land and
Prospectors.
That was on EOS, yes.
Very well. It's on Wax now, actually. It's on both, I think. But yes, yeah. Same type of mentality. So similar to, you have this virtual world that has land that's an asset that somebody can own, and then other people can come and mine on that asset. And that asset may have particular traits. Think of it very similar to like prospecting, mining, and that's how a lot of people think of it is, all right, how easy is it to get gold or Trillium out of the ground? Is it really easy, or is it really hard? Do I get a lot of Trillium? Do I get a little bit of Trillium? So that same kind of mentality about, if you're familiar with prospectors, similar. Not, if I remember right, I played a little bit of Prospectors, but not really a map with people on it like you saw in Prospectors, but there's definitely a map where you pick your location and you do your work. Does that make sense? So anyway, long story short, yeah, if you're familiar with that kind of concept, that's part of the mining side of the game. Before we jump all into it, it's interesting. There's a second part of the game that isn't live yet. They wanted to go ahead, get the mining side of things and everything going. But they also have what they call Thunderdome. And don't really know all the details and stuff about it yet, but think about it as kind of that other side of perfect example for NFT mining that we talked about is like card games, like Magic the Gathering and I think Pokemon and some of those other ones, where you have a card that has a strength. You're opposing somebody and y'all are battling based off of the math between those cards and whatever it is, right? I mean, that general concept. You have a card, maybe it has a weapon, maybe it has defenses, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But that is the other aspect that isn't live yet. But so you've got all these cards for this game that you're getting. There's actually kind of two sets of cards within the same. They call it the metaverse, but you like say you rip open a pack, you may get a tool to be able to mine Trillium, and you may also get a reptilioid or something like that can fight in the Thunderdome. So just understand that the assets are all kind of mixed together. They're all the same card set, but there's actually kind of two main parts of the game, at least how I see it. One's on the mining side, one's on the Thunderdome. And then, of course, eventually they may cross back over. Like you go to Thunderdome, you get hurt, you can go to your land to a hospital to get healed or something like that. You can pay somebody on that builds this hospital in Trillium. Hey, let me use your hospital to heal my reptilioid to go back into battle to whip some more ass or whatever. And I'm just kind of conceptualizing, but you get the idea that there's some cool mentalities of where it can go. I don't know if so it's very similar to like we talked about on the Garbage Pail Kids, where you buy a pack, you open it, and you get a certain set of cards in there randomly assigned or picked. Some are good, some are bad, some are rare, some are common, whatever. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to game1.alien world. So that's the actual site for it. But you see right here, it takes me to this login page. And I click on login, and this is where the Waxcloud wallet pops up. Now, you can have a couple different ways you can log into Waxcloud wallet, but mine auto logs in as my Google account. So,
Okay.
Or one of my Google accounts. Let me slide this over this side. So ultimately, when you get logged in here, you've got an avatar, which is kind of your face of the game. That's not as important, but you got some buttons here: inventory, staking. Inventory is all the cards you have. Staking is when you earn some Trillium. You can actually stake to a planet and earn some additional Trillium. We'll get into that here in a little bit. But just to show you kind of how the overall game concept works, whenever you go to the mining, you can pick a land, then you pick whatever tools you want to mine with. And then whenever it's ready to mine, you click on mine and it grinds. Now mine's already grinding. You can see up here in the upper right-hand corner, say the next mine attempt in about 4 minutes. So those are my cooldown times for these tools on this land. That kind of makes sense?
Yes.
So like you would log in, you wouldn't have any of this really particularly set up. So the first thing it would do if when you logged in, you'd have to set your name, and then it would ask you, where do you want to mine? And so basically it would take you to a screen like this. Change planet. So there's 6 planets that are scattered throughout the metaverse, and they all have kind of different traits. Some have volcanoes, some have islands, we'll get a little bit more into what each land is, but just understand there's kind of 6 lands out there. We tend to gravitate towards Cavion because I got a lot of land there and a lot of other friends. But you would pick a planet. And so it's telling you how much of the mining pot's available right now and if you want to get started or to the different planets. So we're going to pick Cavion. Then it basically asks you, where do you want to mine? Now, on this planet, there's, I don't know, like 500 different pieces of land. And they're asking you, hey, well, where do you want to mine? Well, it randomly picked one for us, but I personally want to mine on our land. So I think it's that one. Yeah. So this rocky crater on Cavion, if you'll notice, the land is owned by NEYAU. That's one of my accounts that holds my land. So when I mine, I'm mining on a piece of land, which is an NFT that is owned by this other account, although it happens to be me. But if it was you, you'd be mining on my land. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So talking a little bit about which the owner of the land, when you mine it, you'll notice the owner profit share from mining is 20%. Now, this is customizable based off of the different land, and the landowner can set it. But when you mine, whatever amount of trillium you mine, the landowner keeps 20% and you get to keep 80%. So you can understand that owning land provides passive income just simply because miners come and mine your land and give you a little bit of the slice based off of whatever slice you offer to them. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes.
So
Yes,
I'm
yes,
not going to
yes.
say let's mine because I'm already set up mining somewhere else. But in theory, you would say let's mine here. And then ultimately, it would take us back to the mining hub and it would say, hey, you're picked to mine on this rocky crater on Cavion. Then you would select whichever tools you want. I'll get a little bit more into some of the details of the tools. It can get pretty complicated, but just understand you got 3 slots. If you've got additional, equipment here, you can browse over to them. If you want to decide to equip a shovel, then you could, click here and equip it, and it would put it in the bag.
Okay.
Or it would set it for your active tools to use. So again, I've already been set, and I'm in the middle of a cooldown, but you'll get the idea that of kind of how it works. So
You got a next mine attempt in 38 seconds.
It is. Hold on. Actually, I can probably.
We'll get to see it.
There you go.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, there you go. I'll do it from here. So ultimately, yeah, in 26 seconds, I'll have cooled down and be ready to fire off another mining attempt and then start the next cooldown. So every time you mine, you get a percentage of some trillium and the chance of an NFT. Now, what percentage you get and your luck of that is actually driven. You see these numbers in the upper left, lower right, and then even your lower left corner here. Those are different on different tools. Like, oh, there's mine. You ready to mine?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to hit mine. Mining is now in progress. You may go back to home screen. Now, the interesting concept, this, if you wanted to, you can go back to the home screen. I normally don't. I just kind of let it grind. But it's doing some proof of work. So very similar like you see in Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of that. There's this mathematical calculation that's grinding, trying to find the magic answer, and that's mining. Now, to discourage people from doing it like scripts and bots, there are deterrents that if you try to mine and not use the game, basically, it takes, seconds, minutes, whatever, hours, if you don't have a fast computer, to find that magic number. Whereas in the game, it's able to find it much faster. Okay. Additionally, depending on what tools you have, means how fast it can do this as well. Because even like in the game, you saw that was a couple of seconds. Sometimes it'll take 30 seconds or 45 seconds. I mean, it's just kind of how long does it take? There is part of that card controls how long it is from when you click mine to when you click claim. And that's one piece of it. It's normally pretty short, but so we've mined success. I'm going to claim. It's going to go back. It's going to claim it. I may have to. Oh, there it goes. It authenticated. And so in that mine attempt, I got 4.158 trillium for my efforts. And in 12 minutes, I can mine again. So, and then if I go back to the mining hub, ultimately here, I'm set up and ready to go. This is where we kind of started. And then when it's ready, it'll light up the mine button. But you see the overall game concept of mining isn't difficult. It's not, you can just connect in. They give you a shovel to start with, pick a random land and go at it, right?
Right.
And if you don't own land, to be honest with you, you probably don't care who's the owner of the land. I will say, as we get into some of these details, it does make a difference which land you pick based off of your strategy.